Hey there, good morning on this Thursday, what I like to call Little Friday. Chris Allen here on this April 4th, 2024. We're still looking back at the super outbreak of tornadoes 50 years ago today. Now, I know I said that yesterday, but you've got to remember that the swath of tornadoes started on the afternoon of April 3rd, went all night into the morning of April 4th. Today being April 4th, we're still commemorating the super outbreak. And I want to show you a piece of video that I found. It immediately takes me back to that moment when my dad told me, son, get in the basement with mom and your grandmother and aunts and all. It was like this. When these tornadoes started, the afternoon of April 3rd, the women and children, I was 11 and a half at the time, go to the basement. Us, big men, brawly men, us guys are going to be upstairs watching TV, watching the coverage. You go downstairs in the basement, women and children. It was that kind of a deal. So my grandfather, my dad, and my one of my uncles were all upstairs watching at the time all we had covering the tornadoes. The only radar that we could watch was out of Channel 5 in Nashville. At the time, it was WLAC TV, not WTVF as it is now. But I have found a piece of video that I remember going upstairs from the basement, curious as to what's on TV. I wanted to see the radar. And here's what it looked like that very night. I remember seeing this and being scared.
This is a Channel 5 weather advisory. We've been having many reports and sightings by the public as well as public officials of tornadoes in the Murfreesboro Road, Bell Road area of southeast Nashville, also around Edge of Lakes in the Smyrna area moving toward Nashville, and one a little bit earlier in the Laverne area moving off toward the northeast. Some of those at least were heading toward Lebanon, Tennessee, and persons in that area out in Wilson County and points to the west and south, east and southeast of Nashville and points on east from there are advised to be on the alert for severe weather developments in their area. We do not know, of course, how many of these are sightings by different people of the same tornado, and we will not know for some little time. In any case, take whatever precautions are necessary and stay tuned to Channel 5 for later weather development.
Wow. Any of you remember that? Oh my goodness. That is exactly what I saw. That remember it coming up on the screen. I remember them breaking in, and it just was like, wow. And you saw those little hooks and you saw the Kentucky state line. That was like aviation airport radar at the time. That's all you had. And then you had the outdoor warning sirens, but not like we have today. You had one or two horns, those big orange horns in some cities, and it was just, those were air raid sirens, not tornado sirens. You didn't have weather radio. You didn't have internet. You didn't have cell phones. You didn't have apps. You didn't have any of the stuff that we have today. Um, yeah, you're right, Linda. The black and white screen made it scarier. Yeah, but you could see the hooks, these little hook echoes, and they were all headed right for that one that was close to Gallatin was headed right up toward Alvaton. And that's the tornado that hit Alvaton. And then there were more that went into other locations like um, up in Greene County and Grayson County, then Louisville, then Brandenburg, and just on and on. That was the very beginning of all the outbreak, the 148 tornadoes of the 3rd and 4th of April. F4s, F5s, some F3s. The one that came through Alvaton was an F3. 6,000 plus injured, 319 died in that 2 day period, that 24-hour period. So just wanted you to see that because, and when I saw that, I'm like, oh my gosh, that took me back 50 years. That is 50 years old. Phew. Wow. Goodness. I'm glad we didn't have this yesterday. I'm glad we didn't have the day before either, the severe weather. Okay. Now on to the current weather. As you're looking at the Plano cam, it's cloudy, but there are some breaks in the clouds, and we'll see more of those today. It's still breezy. It's still chilly. It's still occasionally still a little drizzly or showery. There's the view from AAA Systems downtown live cam. You can still see the layer of clouds, which are kind of going to be with us all day. Um, so it's going to be a cool, chilly day. Not much of a warm up at all today. In fact, today is going to be cooler than it was yesterday. Yesterday's high in Bowling Green was 57. The average is 67. So we were 10 degrees cooler than average. Today, we're going to be like hmm, 15 degrees cooler than average. Yeah, or close to that. So, yeah, it's going to be that kind of a day. All right. I don't want to go as long today as I have in the last few days, but there's just a whole lot to talk about. But you guys have hung in there with me, and I appreciate that. Let's take a look at the maps and the radar and the satellite. Now, what you're seeing here are the winds. You see that there's that deep low pressure system. Look at that 986 millibar. That is deep, strong. Look at the winds, isobars around that. You see the equal lines of pressure when they're tight like that and tight right here over Kentucky. Windy. It's windy. Everyone knows it's windy. Everyone. See the association? The association I made there? Somebody will not get that joke. Everyone knows it's windy. See the association I made? Okay, never mind. Yeah, you guys, some of you will get that. All right, let's look at the radar. There's not a lot going on. Still the upper flow, as I just showed you, these things are swinging from north to south and then east around that low. So still some patchy drizzle, patchy shower or two today. Here's a look at the satellite view, and you can, oh, look at the swirl. Here's a low here that I showed you, and a secondary low back over the Great Lakes. So all these clouds, I'll put them into motion. All these clouds are just swirling. Look at that, swirling around that low, and everything's just kind of, just kind of loading. Sorry, it's taking to load. These are pretty high resolution images. You can see all the sunny weather that's out in the Central Plains, the Rockies, the Deep South. There we go. Look at that swirl. Just a big old low pressure system. So in the flow, in the upper flow, these clouds just don't want to scour out. Now we're seeing a little bit of sun back into Western Kentucky, but we haven't seen it here yet. Hopefully we will shortly. So pretty good picture there of the clouds and what you're seeing this morning with the clouds. Now that, sorry about that. It may have jerked a little bit because it's it ate up some bandwidth when I pull up those high resolution videos and pictures and satellites and stuff. That's why it may be a little herky jerky on your end. Here's a look at mesonet temperatures this morning. Chillier in the central and eastern parts of the state where we have the most cloud cover. Then it starts to warm up as you get more towards southern Kentucky. But look at western Kentucky. They've warmed almost to 50. That's because that's where I showed you on the satellite they're seeing sunshine. But it's mostly in the low 40s here. But add in that wind. Let's take a look at wind chill. Temperatures in the 40s, wind chill low to mid 30s. And that's because we have these winds coming out of the northwest, 10 to 15, gusts to 20, 21, 20, 21, 21, 20, 24. Yeah, that west wind. Ugh, it's chilly. It's a chilly morning with the winds blowing as they are. When they come in from the west or northwest, you know they're going to be a little bit on the brutal side. Chilly day, chilly night. Things are not going to change that much. Let me show you the model blender. For this time period, we are going to see much cooler temperatures. It's another one of those little winters. I don't know which one. Don't ask me. It's, but it's temporary. As you can see, around 50 today, 35, 36, 37 tonight. I don't think a frost advisory or anything is warranted tonight. But tomorrow, when we get to a warmer 55 with still some clouds, it is tomorrow night when the clouds completely clear out that we see the real possibility of frost. And therefore, once we get down to 34, maybe even 33 or 32, that's freezing. So if you've got anything out planted for the spring season, tomorrow night, it's in danger. Okay. Just cover it up, not with plastic, with a cloth, and bring it in, or bring it in if it's already out, planted. So frost looking likely Friday night into Saturday morning. Now, we start to warm up, as you can see, 60s, 70s across the board, starting Sunday, going through all next week in the 70s. And likely we are going to see um, maybe some strong to severe storms. Maybe it's a possibility. Going to have to watch that. And I know you're thinking not again, but it could be again. All right. Here's the maps. I'm trying to hurry, trying not to hold you guys so long today. I know I've done some really long podcasts lately, but I feel like it's been warranted. Hopefully you do too. Here's a look at the instability that's wrapping around the upper flow. Some mixy stuff in here, but we really haven't had too many reports of stuff going on. A lot of it, by the time it reaches ground, turns back into a raindrop. Um, so it's not, like big snowflakes or anything like that. There may be a few up in northern and eastern Kentucky, but in this upper flow today, just expect, I'm going to say sprinkles or just light rain showers, brief, not as many as yesterday. And we should see later a little more sun than today. Here is 1 o'clock tomorrow morning, waking up to still a bit of that mixy stuff over in the eastern part of the state, not here. As we get into Friday afternoon and Friday evening, that feature finally, that upper low moves away. High pressure begins to build in for the weekend. Saturday looks spectacular. Really good day, around 60 for a high on Saturday. Here we go into Sunday. Sunday morning, we'll begin to see showers ahead of the warm front. So there's lift. That warm air is going to come in, and we're going to go to 70 on Sunday, excuse me. 10-degree jump in temperature. High pressure moves east, allows this front to come in. Showers, maybe a few thunderstorms on Sunday. Then we get into Monday, scattered showers ahead of the warm front. Now look at this. We're being set up with another stormy system. Warm front to the east, cold front to the west. Lots of Gulf moisture. Eventually, right here, it's dry for Monday morning, but by Monday afternoon into Tuesday, Here we go. Gulf moisture moves in, showers, perhaps thunderstorms in the front, then starts to stall to the west. And as it stalls again, this is going to keep rain in our forecast. We may be looking at some heavy rain, not just thunderstorms, but maybe even some heavy rain as we get into, Monday evening, Tuesday, Wednesday. But highs will be in the low to mid 70s during that time. And it's going to be quite warm during that period. All right, let's look here in the chat room since I haven't been able to talk to you guys because it's just been crazy nuts. We've had thousands of people, most viewership ever on this particular podcast in ever since I've been doing it. And I think because not only of the severe weather, but the talk about the super outbreak and all that. Let's see here. Mandem 98, Linda, Shannon K, Woody T. Um, yeah, you're right, Woody. He says he lived in West Virginia when that happened. Devastated Xenia, Ohio. Yes, that was one of the worst tornadoes. It was an F5. Uh, Mary says there were 6 or 7 deaths in Clinton County. Yes, you're right. Clinton. Then it started going further east and north. Greg, good morning to you. Mary, Doc, Morel. Um, let's see. Ricky, Wanda, Myra, okay. William, Steve. Okay. I think I got you all in there. Okay. Have a great day. Today, chance of a shower sprinkle, high around 50. That's all we're going to do today. And the wind's going to make it feel, as you saw, colder than that. Stiff wind from the west, and occasionally, like right now, like yesterday. Look at that. The sun comes out. Nice. Thank you, Mr. Sunshine. Not necessarily Mr. Blue Sky like ELO, but Mr. Sunshine. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you tonight right there. News 40 at 5, 6, and 10. God bless.